So today we're going to go over a little bit of modding in the Stalker game, because sooner or later there's somebody on the forums who can't keep their face shut and they think they got it all. Now, one of the things is LTX files when you adjust them. Sometimes you have to start a new game. That's all there is to it. But I'm being told, no you don't. And starting this, I actually think it's actually an attack on me, because there are some people who are just too ignorant right out of the gate, like some piece of trash that crawled out of a hole. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I already got my mission from Sid here, and what we're going to do is I ported my from my personal mod the weapons I made for the monolith. So here they are. So as you see, there's no description for the monolithian weapon, and there's no description for the ammunition of this weapon. Now, as we go out here, we got the weapon. Now, someone can say, well, I changed it around because this is really of interest. I mean, it's not a modified weapon. Yeah, it is. This is not the Vintorez. This is a replica version of that gun for the monolith. In my personal mod. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this. We're going to drop all of this. And since, according to the other people, I don't have to do anything, I can just continue, do my settings, run off my saves. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to save this. Not even going to look at it. Save game, save test. Then we're going to exit. So we're back in again, and I had just disabled that quick mod. So according to I should be able to still work off my save file regardless, because he makes changes all the time, so he knows more about what he's talking about than me. And for some reason I'm spreading misinformation, like this is a frickin' Western political BS thing going on. Okay, so we'll turn around and load the test save with the mini-mod disabled, making the monolith weapon no longer available. The monolith weapon that I ported out of my personal mod. So now that the game had crashed, this is why I always suggest start a new game when you're doing these tests, because in certain LTX files this is not going to work. It is a sure thing to start it. It's like I basically am putting a clause in there, but some people just are too mind-child to understand what a clause is. It's not very hard, okay? I want to make sure when I give advice, everything's covered to prevent just what happened. Because it makes me look dumb when they go up there and they're like, okay, and then they go to restart it and the game crashes or something like that, and then they're coming back and they're like going, alright, well, I ain't gonna listen to that guy anymore because this did absolutely nothing. So it's not a conspiracy or any other crazy idea that some fool comes up with who thinks it is. When you change certain LTX files, there is no guarantee that it will take in the save. So it doesn't matter if it's removed, it doesn't matter if it's an adjustment. You could be sitting over there making adjustments and then trying to make, let's say, the weapons, which is stupid because you're trying to make the guns more powerful for you, and the NPCs out there in the Stalker world use the very same configurations, making it even worse on yourself. But anyways, it may not be taking, and you don't know this, so you go ahead and you put it out. If it does take, good for you. But I will always put in the clause to restart a new game regardless. Because when I put my personal mod together and I go through my weapons, I load up his file with those weapons and then I go test them. Each one is tested before I continue in my personal mod. That's just the way it is. That's how I do things. I want to be sure. That's why I do it. Now, like I've always said, the trader file, on the other hand, can be adjusted at any time. You can add and take off this trader file as is. So let's just go ahead and save that and give them some stuff. Okay, so here we're back in here through the save file. So we'll just go up to here, and like I said, the trader file, you can change it on the fly because I haven't gone nowheres yet. This is actually the supplies before going to the fabric or factory. So it's very simple. See, like I said, you can change the trader files on the flies, but when it comes to the other LTX files, not so much, because they end up getting saved to the trader or the save file. That's why it crashed when I removed the gun. So I always put that clause in there. When you're doing your testing, start a new game. Because it's the only way that you can be sure it actually took. You don't have to. That's all on you. There's no misinformation about it. There is no conspiracy about. Only an idiot would think so. Now, the other thing you could do on the fly while you're in game testing without having to start a new game is script files, because most of them are functional commands. So for example, I'm trying to pull out my binoculars. I'm trying to pull out my bolt. Can't do it. But I could pull it out here. And then on top of it over here, I want to save it here first. I now have a pistol and some ammunition from Wolf here. So what I'm going to do to prove this too, I'm going to change the scripts for this. Now I saved it here because what he gives you is a script command, and I didn't want to have it first. But when I change it, he's going to give me something completely different. Okay. we're back in the save. So we'll now go talk to Wolf here again. Let's see what he gave me. We have ourselves now an AK 74. We have rounds for it, as well as our pistol, 2 bandages, and a med kit. And that is because he gives it to you by function. So it's a script file. So script files don't really have anything to do with the save if that function happens before your save, not after you've already received it. Then we will come down here and have a talk with Sid. So, like I said, certain LTX files you may require to do a new save. That's to start a new game. That is just the way it's going to be. You're not going to avoid it. The difference is Clear Sky and Call of Pripyat are more forgiving in this case, whereas Shadow Chernobyl is less forgiving. Okay? So I've never said absolutes for everything. That's right out of the gate. But some morons don't understand that. 2. Trader files can be adjusted at any time during the game, because that is the way it is because their list is what you're adjusting. So what they're going to have available to sell and whatnot is already present in there. So all you're doing is just adding and changing. Clear Sky has a problem with Yantar because there's a typo in the shotgun information. Usually I've catched it, so I never really edit it while in game, so I don't know if it'll take or not. So that's, if you're in Clear Sky and it crashes in Yantar, the chances are, especially if you don't have a mod that already fixes that, that's what it's going to be. As for the and then the script files can be changed on the fly for whatever fixes. Most of the time, as long as your save is before that function is active. So I pretty much made my point 100% clear here. So I'm going to go just for fun and waste everybody at the car park. Good hunting, stalkers.